hang out and talk about slow living. So this is one of my very favorite topics. I just want to preface this video saying don't want any of these 6 things to add to your plate, especially as a parent, and making you feel like here's 6 more things I gotta start doing. The purpose of this video is exactly the opposite. I hope that you click away from this video after watching it feeling like you can breathe, it's all gonna be okay, you've got this. These are just 6 tips to help you slow down. Man, my hair is dripping. Savor and enjoy life a little bit more. Okay, so tip number 1 is minimize your belonging. Anything and everything that you own, make it minimal. I have lots of videos about this on my channel already, but what I'll say about it is when you have less stuff, you just have less to do. The best way I can describe what it feels like to have a minimized home, when you go on a vacation and you pack just the essentials and you show up to your Airbnb and it's clean, there's not a bunch of visual clutter everywhere, maybe a few amenities here and there. There's no clutter. While you're on vacation, you kind of get to just be. You get to enjoy life a little bit more. Yes, there's still moments that are hard, but like I've said in so many other videos, it's less but better. Tip number 2 is to minimize your calendar. The way I would suggest doing this is writing down on sticky notes every single thing you do throughout the week. Write that on a sticky note and place the sticky notes for the whole month all over your kitchen table. So once you have all your sticky notes up on the table, be ruthless with getting rid of them. Society is quite obsessed with doing more, being more productive, more efficient, packing even more into each day. We're quite concerned with missing out. It has less to do with us and more to do with keeping up with either what the standard is or with what our neighbors are doing or with what people think on social media, and way less to do with what we want and what's best for us and our families. You have complete permission to eliminate all the excess, all the clutter from your calendar. When you leave room in your calendar, it creates space for slow living. Go through your calendar and try to get rid of as much clutter as you can. Okay, number 3 is to enjoy the simpler things with your kids. Things like swinging on our front porch swing, playing with water. You guys know we live at the beach, but sometimes we're just hanging out at home with a spray bottle. My kids are 1 and 4, so things like a spray bottle, a hose, a bath in the kitchen sink, buckets in the yard, lighting a candle or a fire, baking bread together, soaking and preparing beans together from scratch. I told you these were going to be simple things. Listening or dancing to good music together, making tea and enjoying it on the porch, reading books or listening to audiobooks together, painting, coloring. I think you get the gist. I think it is hard to enjoy our kids when we're just rushing them from one activity to the next, or just so obsessed and concerned with fast-tracking them, even from preschool it seems, for success in the future. Fulfillment doesn't really come from wanting and achieving more. It comes from being content with what you have. While sometimes it's boring, I like living a boring life with my kids. I really enjoy days at home with them. For the longest time, I feel like I was kind of ashamed to admit that when it feels like everyone else is constantly out doing exciting things with their kids, and I'm playing with buckets of water in the yard or, walking around our neighborhood looking for snails. This is a huge one for us as well, and that's living a home-centered life. Now, the big components of that for us are homeschool and working from home. As a kid that went to public school and private school and was homeschooled, and now I'm homeschooling my kids, I can tell you that I get that it sounds like so much more work to have your kids at home with you, especially if you're working from home. But it's a totally different pace of life. So you kind of have to take a while to just unlearn that life. And obviously over the past year, most of us have unlearned the office life and we're used to working from home now. But with school, it's much the same. It's very difficult to recreate classroom school at home. Homeschooling allows us to follow our kids' interests and connect. It focuses more on connection with our kids first and foremost. And I think that really lends itself to a low stress and enjoyable life with our kids. We don't have to wake up at a certain hour. We don't have to eat at a certain hour. There are no bells. It's just very natural in the way of educating for real life. I'm really passionate about homeschool. It's something that I'll probably make videos about in the future, but for now, I will link below some of my very favorite homeschool resources for you if you are interested. Okay, number 5 is to just spend more time in nature. You could do things like go for a walk in your neighborhood and just observe what's around you. You could put a bird feeder in your yard and watch the birds. Like I mentioned, we have a front porch swing that we hang out a lot in. You could look up the natural parks and preserves near you. We bought this book called The Audubon Field Guide to California. It encourages us to just get outside and be in nature more and observe and kind of like be present and mindful with our surroundings. Another thing that we've done to just connect with nature more is garden and grow our own food at home. You may have noticed we do not have a yard at all. We have like a big front porch and a little back patio, but we don't have any like a typical yard. So my husband built us a raised garden bed and we garden in there. But if that doesn't sound fun to you, you could also just plant some wildflower seeds and watch them grow. My kids have loved planting sunflower seeds and watching them grow. It's like one of their favorite things to do. Whatever your kids are into, like regarding nature, maybe it's looking for bugs. You could lay out blankets and look up at the stars, have a bonfire. When I first started trying to slow down and live more presently with my kids, I set a goal to spend 1 hour in nature every day. And this is while we were living in Arizona and it was really hot. It felt like a really big goal to spend an additional hour outside that wasn't exercise, that wasn't like an extracurricular activity, that was just simply being outside. Now it's effortless for me to spend 3 to 5 hours outside every day. But at the time, it was such a big lifestyle adjustment. So I suggest if you're new to spending more time outside, or if you're living in an area where you feel like the weather doesn't permit that, start with a small goal to just be outside with your kids for 10 minutes or 30 minutes or an hour every day. Okay, this last tip, I don't know how this is gonna go over, but this has been so huge for us. And that is getting rid of our TV. I don't want to make you feel like if you let your kids watch TV, you're a bad parent, because my kids still do watch Daniel Tiger and Tumbleleaf every now and then on our laptop, but getting rid of our TV, just having it be a focal point, it's just not something that is easy to click on or just have on. It just has slowed down the pace of our life so much. Not having that, not having Instagram gives us more time to be bored, to have conversations together. And in addition to that, I would say creating really hard boundaries around my phone usage has also helped me slow down and enjoy life. Maybe that's not for you, maybe it is. I find that it really helps me enjoy my life more. I feel like a little kid again. You could also try turning off your Wi-Fi for a weekend. We've done that a few times and it's really nice. Totally get that some of this sounds really crazy. This is just our family culture. I think it's cool we can have these conversations and you can take a peek into like our family and what works for us, and then apply whatever you want. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel grow. With that, I will see you guys next week.